Hello everybody, welcome to another FIFA 17 experiment. So I'm going to do like a long-term experiment of the teams going through the Premier League from the start all the way up till now. So we're starting with the 1992-1993 season, and the 22 teams that were competing were Wimbledon, Arsenal, Aston Villa, Blackburn Rovers, Chelsea, Coventry City, Crystal Palace, Everton, Ipswich, Leeds, Liverpool, Man City, Man United, Middlesbrough, Norwich, Nottingham Forest, Oldham, QPR, Sheffield United, Sheffield Wednesday, Southampton, and finally Spurs. So, we'll be going through each year with whichever team's competing. Now, I will do a wee point system, so it's like 3 points for first place team, 2 points for second, 3 points for third, and the bottom three, -3 for last, -2 for second to last, third to last, -1, because those are the positions where in real life those teams would be relegated. But the relegation and whoever the teams that came on for the 94-95 season, or 93-94, which I'm not really sure how it really works, but will be added on, and those who were relegated in real life will be relegated. But I hope this point system will make this series a bit more interesting. But anyway, we'll jump to the halfway mark of the first season of the real life Premier League and see what comes up. Okay, we are at the halfway mark of the 1993 season of the Premier League, and Spurs is in the lead by 3 points, with Chelsea and Man U, who are in second and third place with 45 points each. So the real life winner of the 1993 Premier League is third place, just ahead of Manchester City. Now at the relegation zone we have Oldham Athletic, Sheffield United and Coventry City at the bottom, even though these three teams weren't relegated in real life, but they are in the relegation zone. So 10, 12 and 13 points out of the 21 games. That's very ungood. But anyway, we'll jump to the end of the season and see who wins and who would be relegated. Okay, so that's the end of the season, and the top three teams have changed positions. Manchester United, who won the real life 1993 Premier League, has won by 3 points ahead of Chelsea and Spurs, who was originally leading. So, a bit of a change to the boards. We have, then it's Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal took 6, 7 was Crystal Palace, who, I can't remember which of the three teams were relegated, but I know Crystal Palace was one of them. I can't remember what the other two are. Then it was Everton, Aston Villa, Norwich, Southampton, QPR, Middlesbrough, Sheffield, Nottingham Forest, Ipswich, Leeds, Sheffield United, Coventry City, and in the relegation zones are Blackburn, Wimbledon and Oldham Athletic. So they would be relegated, but I don't think any of them in real life were relegated. I'll need to check up on that because I can't remember. But we'll now cut to the 94 season of what it would look like. And of course by then I'll realise which teams they were relegated in real life. So we'll jump to the 94 season. Alright, we're here for the 94th season, and it was Crystal Palace, Middlesbrough and Nottingham Forest who were in real life relegated. So replacing those teams were Swindon Town, West Ham and Newcastle. So those are the teams who've replaced the three relegated teams. So let's now cut to the halfway mark and see where those new promoted teams lie. Okay, we are at the halfway mark of the 94 season, and as you can see, Chelsea and Manchester United are tied on points at the top, with Arsenal taking third place. West Ham and Newcastle United, the two promoted teams, are 8th and 9th, where Swindon Town is currently sitting 19th place, one spot above the relegation zone. Now, in real life, Manchester United is supposed to win this season, and I haven't checked who would get relegated in real life, but we'll find out when the 95 season starts. But anyway, let's now cut to the end of the season and see where the new promoted teams will lay and who will win the 94 season. Okay, we've come to the end of the season, and Chelsea and Arsenal have got the same amount of points. However, Chelsea has got the highest on goal difference. The real life winner, Manchester United, in third place. Now, the three promoted teams in real life, West Ham is in ninth, Newcastle United is in seventh, and Swindon Town is stayed at 19th, just above the relegation zone. So, and as you can see, the relegation zone are Blackburn, Oldham, and Wimbledon. But where they are now today, you kind of expect them to be this low down the board. But we will now make our way to the 95 season, where at the time who were relegated and who were promoted will change. Okay everyone, this is the 95 season of the real life Premier League. So the team that was relegated were Sheffield, Oldham and Swindon. So the teams that were promoted that took their places were Crystal Palace, Nottingham Forest and Leicester City, as you should probably be able to see on your screens. So we'll keep an eye on those teams, but we'll also need to keep an eye on who's at the top and who would be relegated. So let's check on how they will do. Okay, so we've come to the halfway mark of the real life 1995 Premier League, and as you can see, Chelsea is in first place, 3 points ahead of Arsenal, and Manchester United taking third place. Now the three promoted teams, Crystal Palace is in 6th place, Leicester City is in 9th, and Nottingham Forest is in 11th. Now as we come down to the relegation zone, we have Blackburn Rovers in last place, then it's Wimbledon, and then it's Coventry City. Now, as you can see, Blackburn Rovers are at the bottom of the league table. I just want to point out, in 1995 they were the real life winners, but the board's completely flipped on them, because they were first in real life, and currently they're dead last. Which is a pretty weird thing to tell you, because you wouldn't notice, I would think. Well, this game, Blackburn Rovers aren't as good as they probably were in 1995, but it's clearly a different story here. But anyway, we'll skip on to the end of the season and we'll see what happens in the tables. Okay, we've come to the end of the season of the 1995 Premier League, and at the top of the table it's Chelsea with 100 points, Manchester City taking second place, just 1 point ahead of the other Manchester team, which is United. Now the three promoted teams, Crystal Palace is in 7th, Leicester City is 8th, and Nottingham Forest is down in 14th. As we come down to the bottom of the table, as you can see, the real life winners gained 1 place, but is still in the relegation zone, with Wimbledon and Coventry City also in the relegation zone. So, very disappointing year for the real life winner, but it is kind of to be expected realistically in this game. But we'll now jump to the 1996 season with all the real life relegated teams and promoted teams added to the table. Be right back. Alright everyone, this is the 1996 season of the Premier League. Now, you may notice here that in the other 3 seasons, 95 to 93, we had 22 teams, but 96, there was only 20 teams, because 4 teams were relegated and 2 teams were promoted, so there's 2 less teams in the Premier League than what we start off with. So Crystal Palace, Norwich, Leicester and Ipswich were all relegated, and the 2 teams that were promoted were Middlesbrough and Bolton. Now, realistically, Middlesbrough should do well here, Bolton not so much, but don't know, could be a few surprises, but we'll see what happens as we'll cut to the halfway mark. Okay, we are at the halfway mark for the 1996 Premier League, and Chelsea has got a slim lead over Liverpool with 2 points separating them. Manchester City in 3rd place. The real champion was Manchester United again, but they're in 6th place. Now, the two promoted teams, Middlesbrough is in 14th place, and Bolton in the relegation zone in 19th, with only Wimbledon just behind them with 3 points. So, what will happen next? Well, we'll cut to the end of the season and we'll see who makes the top 3 and who will be relegated. Okay, we have come to the end of the 1996 Premier League, and Chelsea did maintain their lead, that they win 6 points ahead of second place Manchester City, and Manchester United, the real-life champions, take 3rd place. The two promoted teams, Middlesbrough, managed to finish in 12th, and surprisingly Bolton went from 19th to 16th out of the relegation zone. The 3 teams that would be relegated are Wimbledon, Rovers, and Coventry City. So we'll tune into the next season of the Premier League, and where we'll have the real relegations taken into account. So stay tuned for that. Okay everyone, this is the 1997 season of the Premier League. Now the 3 relegated teams were Bolton and QPR, which is kind of expected, but the biggest surprise was Manchester City was relegated. So arguably one of England's better teams have been relegated in real life in 1996. So the 3 promoted were Sunderland, Derby and Leicester City. So we'll be keeping an eye on them. But now, let's make our way to the halfway mark of the season. Okay, we are halfway into the season of 1997 and Manchester City is out in front with 48 points, Spurs in 2nd place, with Liverpool in 3rd place. Now looking at Sunderland, who is down in 17th place, Derby is in 13th place, and Leicester City is in 10th place. So the 3 promoted teams are round about the middle of the table towards the bottom end, and so far in the relegation zone is Rovers, Wimbledon and Middlesbrough. Now this can all change as we move on to the end of the season. Okay, we have come to the end of the season of 1997 and Manchester United kept held of the lead with 92 points and wins just like in real life. Spurs taking 2nd place with Liverpool in 3rd place. Now the 3 promoted teams, Sunderland finished in 15th place, Derby 17th place, and Leicester City maintained 10th place. Blackburn Rovers, Wimbledon and Coventry City were ended the season in the relegation zone. So it's now time to take a quick look at the points. Now remember, the teams that have scored points for being the top 3 or the bottom 3, anyone else who's not been in either spots will not be shown on the screen. So we're looking at the point standing, and Chelsea are in the lead by 2 points ahead of Manchester United. Chelsea have won 3 of the 5 years, with Manchester United winning 2 of the 5 years. And there's a big gap between 2nd and 3rd because Manchester City have had 2 second places, and they've got Spurs who had 1 second place and 1 third place. And then you've got Arsenal with 1 second place, Liverpool with 1 third place, and then you've got all the teams who would be relegated as normal, which is Oldham, Coventry City, Blackburn and Wimbledon. They've all hit the relegation at least once each. Well, Wimbledon and Blackburn have hit the relegation zone every year so far in this little experiment. But we'll see if they'll fall back any further before they are in real life relegated. So hope you like this little experiment. We'll take on the next 5 years and then we'll see where the standings go after that. So thank you guys so much for watching and goodbye.